This is a notice of a special call session. Welcome to everyone who's here today. The county judge won't be able to be here. Commissioner Haggard won't be able to be here today. Present are Commissioner Farias, Commissioner Lenny, and myself, Commissioner DeWitt. This is the call to order. We will have a prayer. Everyone will stand. Commissioner Farias, would you lead us in prayer, sir?
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for all the blessings you provide for us. We ask you to watch over us throughout this court. Help us to make the best decisions possible for this county. Please keep us in mind for a little bit of rain in this county to help us out. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Thank you. This next on the agenda is to recognize visitors. Is anyone out there, as our judge always says, that just wants to say they're here and say hello? Don't need to say anything except I'm here, I'm so-and-so, I'm John Doe. Nobody? Last chance. Yes, sir.
Morning, gentlemen. My name is Thomas Rochester.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Rochester. Now we go to Commissioner's Court opening remarks. I think you've got the floor, sir.
Okay. For the past couple of weeks, I've had 2 Zoom meetings with the BDA, the city, our county engineer on the lift station. Out there for BDA, we're about one step closer to getting it done. I think they need some sizes for the pumps from the city to tie up all the engineering parts so we can send out an RFP. So that's done. Had 1 meeting with the Blanconia Fire Department, and we have an item on the agenda, and Grace will give us all the highlights on that, where the progress is on that one right now. Ray Gonzalez and I had another meeting with AEP on the road repair on Ellis Road for the new substation, and that substation is about 75% complete, and they've done a lot of damage to the road, so we're trying to get them to pay for the material and rail the material down for us after they finish. I attended the South Texas Judges and Commissioners, and I serve as the first vice president on the commission. And I took care of 2 of the meetings. I was the moderator for 2. Commissioner Haggard wasn't there, but I know Commissioner DeWitt, Commissioner Lee attended that, and picked up 17 hours there for that. Also, I was selected by the governor for a TCDRS trustee. Quite an honor for me, so that was done this past week, and I will serve on the committee for that in Austin. And let me see, there's another project coming up at BDA. I cannot be announced, but it's very close. It's about 90% close to getting another company to come in for us, and we have a meeting tonight. Should seal the deal for us there, creating another 20 to 30 jobs there. So that's coming up. That's pretty exciting there. We had a salary committee meeting, and there's going to be some adjustments made, so we'll show that a little bit later on today. I was on several BAP phone meetings with Randy Sykes, and there's some more projects coming into Beeville, so I'm helping him work for that. And then I had 1 phone call. I had 2 phone calls on the fireworks, and I'll have Mr. Garza explain that. I think you're a public company, so we can't respond, right? Right. On why we can't ban fireworks here, and that way he can give you all an update and let y'all know why we, as a court, we can't do it now. Okay? I'll pass that on.
Very good, sir. You've been very busy.
Been busy.
Commissioner Lenny, sir, it's yours.
Not quite as busy as Commissioner Farias, but I did also attend the Judges and Commissioners Conference to get my hours needed. Also, went to the ribbon cutting at the Halo Flight hangar, and once again, out with Robbie Guerrero, picking up illegal dumping and tires and whatnot. So that's about it.
Thank you, sir. I also attended the Corpus conference. It was very good. A lot of people there. It was well attended. Commissioner Farias did a good job with his MC work. I also attended the Halo Flight hangar dedication. not realizing at the time that Channel 3 was there, and they aired it on Channel 3, and then it also was aired in Victoria. I had a call from Victoria, so Beeville, Big County got some coverage on that. And then a story, if you will. We all know about climate change, and we try to do what we can to help. And I'm going to shorten this so it won't take several hours. 6 years ago, my wife and I bought into a solar farm out of Orange Grove. It was sponsored by our electric company, 8,000 panels. We put in a sizable investment for an old retired employee like me, and we were receiving $100, $120 a month in credits, if you will, on our electric bill from this solar farm. I noticed the last several months, those credits started going down. $45, $48, $38. So I tried to get hold of the company. Their phone lines have been disconnected. Emails were rejected. I'm thinking, this is interesting. So I finally got a hold of our electric company, and they said, yes, the company is filed for bankruptcy. Are y'all familiar with what a pyramid setup looks like? That's when you have an idea, and you convince all these people to buy into this idea, and you're using the other people's money to pay for the idea. And everybody thinks, man, this is great. I'm making money. I'm doing good. I'm not saying that's what it was, but that's what it looks like. Anyway, this company wasn't just in Orange Grove. They had the same type of operations all over the United States. I'm going to say hundreds of them. They're all in bankruptcy. Different agencies, different electric companies are buying those solar farms up, and we're going to be okay. And I understand that there's at least one county employee that had a similar situation in their personal residence. They contracted with a solar company, came out, put the panels up, they're getting solar credits. Well, the next thing you know, that company's gone. What I'm thinking is happening, these companies are coming in, they're getting the fluff. They're getting a 30% tax break, they're getting this, they're getting that. And when it gets to where they have to start paying on it or not making much money, they just file bankruptcy and leave town. What happened on ours about 2 years ago, we got a letter from that company saying, you need to file a tax exemption with the county, in that county, for your solar panels. So I got a hold of the appraisal district, I sent it down, and they said, you're not the one that owns the taxes. It's the company that owns the taxes. We recommend you take your, and we took it back, everything was fine. So what I'm thinking is happening, they don't realize that maybe they have to pay taxes on these panels because they're in a for-profit organization. So what I'm leading up to, be very, very careful before you sign these contracts, because I did all the due diligence. This contract was fantastic. They're going to do all the maintenance. They're going to do all the repairs, hail damage. Everything's insured. It's all good. But if you can't get a hold of them and they don't answer the phone, doesn't do you a bit of good. So be very, very careful if you look at these systems and you want to sign it, because they're going to tell you that great people we've worked with to start with. It's just like we did with a wind farm. One bunch comes in and does the leasing, another one does the building, somebody else does the operation. They're not around anymore. The people we worked with originally, fantastic, great people, great to work with, they're gone. So what I'm leading up to, just be careful. Go in with your eyes wide open, keep your checkbook closed. Thank you.
Good job.
We will go now to, yes, sir.
When Mr. Garza do public comment, since it's not on the agenda, on the fire.
Okay, let's do public comment first. Mr. Rochester, I think you have some public comments, sir.
Yeah, this morning, everybody,
If
how you doing?
you will come to the podium and identify yourself with the clerk. The rules of engagement, if you will, on public comment, we're going to allow you 5 minutes. The court clerk will keep time. We cannot interact with you. You can express whatever it is that's on your mind. We ask that you be respectful to the court. We do have a bailiff here if it gets out of hand, but thank you, sir.
I was informed of this, well prepared.
Okay, well, if you'll give your name to the court.
Thomas W. Rochester Sr. Last month, on the 23rd, I had contacted Commissioner Perez and left a phone message for him concerning a dead-end sign to be posted at Live Oak Road, out there in Oakmont subdivision. Time's gone by. I went on social media on Facebook platform where I posted my opinions and my concerns, stating that time went by and Commissioner Perez never returned my call. Mr. Mr. Lenny reached out to me on the first of this month, asked me if that problem had been solved. I stated to him, no, sir. By midday, I had a sign posted on Live Oak Road for dead end. The residents out there paid over $1,400 and something a piece to get that road donated back to the county and get blacktop because it was a dirt road at the beginning. Mr. Lindy went out of his way, took care of the issue. On the 3rd of this month, I was having breakfast with Commissioner Lindy, the Enforcement Agent Officer Robbie Goodell, visiting with him, catching up on all times with Mr. Goodell. I hadn't seen him in a while. Commissioner Lenny stated to Robbie, have you gave Mr. Rochester a message from your commissioner? But if Robbie Goodell said, no, sir, I have not. I looked at Mr. Goodell and said, hey, what's the deal? He said, well, Commissioner Pereira told me to tell you to kiss his ass. I'm not playing Facebook games. Therefore, I was highly upset. I was in Chapala's restaurant having breakfast. Other family members, residents of the community was inside the restaurant having breakfast too, and they overheard it. The embarrassment I got by them with their facial expressions to me were pretty upsetting. I'm 63 years old. I'm a retired Texas jailer of Texas. I'm still pending to go back, which I never can because I'm disabled. Therefore, I called Mr. Perez and told him I don't appreciate the message that I just received in a public restaurant stating to kiss his behind and that he wasn't playing Facebook games. I never do play Facebook games. That's my platform to go in to make my opinions, to pay my respects or condolences to someone that lost a family member, or to wish happy birthday to somebody. Mr. Perez, instead of calling me back, contacted Mr. Goodell. By the time I walked out the door, Mr. Perez had contacted me, called me, telling me, yeah, I got a missed call from this number. How can I help you? I told him I didn't appreciate the message that I just received on kissing your behind. I don't know the man. I'm not going to get down on my knees and kiss his behind. I'm not going to do it. I asked him for an apology over the phone. He did not respect my wishes. He blew it off like all Robbie Goodell just blowing everything out of proportion. They always say, don't shoot the messenger, right? I didn't. I have a lot of respect for that young man. I've worked with him in the past. I've known him for 12 years. He's never disrespected me. He's never downgraded me. That's what I felt like I was being done, was downgraded. I never once badmouthed the Commissioner Perez on Facebook at all. I stated it's a damn thing to have a commissioner that don't represent the community when they call in and ask for some assistance. I have not yet received my public apology from him. That's why I brought it to the Commissioner's Court. And that's all I'm here for, is to get a public apology, because this could go further. You all have a code of ethics you go by. That's mandated to you when you apply for this position, right? Yes. No verbal abuse whatsoever. Is professionalism all time. I feel like Mr. Perez lost his cool. He was upset. He probably has too much on his plate. He's trying to deal with everything else, which I recommend him for it. You know, I don't have no problem with it. But my concern was the dead end sign. He had no business sending a message to me through a second party of an employee of B County stating the kids is behind. And that's all I'm here for, was to get a public apology from Mr. Perez, because when I talked to him on the phone, I told him I apologize if I said anything wrong against you in my post on Facebook. I was a man. I manned up to it for apologizing to him what I posted, which I don't see anything degrading to him or taking anything from his position. My 5 minutes is up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ruffin. Mr. Ron, do you have some Public comments?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ryan Garza. I'm the Emergency Management Director for Beeville County in the city of Beeville. Commissioner Buddies had reached out to me yesterday, day before, and report.
Day before.
And was inquiring about fireworks ban. So on the 13th, I received notification that Corpus Christi or the Nueces County had issued a fireworks ban for the county of Nueces. So when we started looking into it, I spoke to Candy about it. We started looking into it. The deadline to adopt it was on the 14th. So we missed the deadline basically in order to impose a ban. And I think it was mainly because we wouldn't have had enough time to get public notice out and actually pull the meeting. I apologize that it didn't happen. I didn't know that we were gonna be in this bad of a drought, and I never had heard of issuing the fireworks ban. So I apologize for that, but the effort was made, me and Candy had discussed it. It's just we weren't gonna make the timing to make a recommendation to the court to allow you all the time to actually order a fireworks. I did speak to a couple of fire chiefs. They are aware that we are not under a fireworks ban. The burn ban does not cover fireworks, or does not cover fireworks. So they are aware of it. They are taking a little extra precautions on getting prepared to make sure that if we do have any fires that break out due to this, we can try to mitigate this best. So that's all I got.
Item number 7. The following items are of administrative nature. Commissioner's Court has been furnished documentation on each item, and all such items may be acted upon by one vote without being discussed separately unless requested by a commissioner or county judge.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Carried unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 8, approve request for use of courthouse rotunda on Veterans Day, Friday, November 11th, 2022, from the Beeville County Historical Commission for the historical markers reception. Would you like to address the court, Ms. Meeks?
Good morning. I'm Kay Mix. I am the chairperson for the Beeville County Historical Commission.
Right.
I know it says society, but it's the commission. Those are two different things. And this is Dee Pagel, one of our members. No, Sherry. Sherry McClintock. These are mothers. Sorry about that. We have two markers. One of them has not been in effect that long, but the one for Chase Field, it's been about 8 years now that we've been working on getting that marker. It is somewhere in the United States, supposed to be have delivered last week, but it's still not here. So, hangar 1015, and I don't know what hangar 1015 was, but that was a wooden hangar out at Chase Field that has been torn down. That hangar was the only wooden hangar existing in the United States Navy, and we lost it because it was not kept up. So the Historical Commission, it was on the National Register as a historical place, and the Historical Commission requested that a marker be put up in representing hangar 1015. That marker is in. It has not been placed. We, as a commission, we met and discussed about when to have the dedication of these markers. And the state recommends that we have dedications of markers so that the public can come and participate in it. The marker for Chase Field will be put out here by the airplane. So we need to pick a place in the future to put this marker. I don't want to get into plumbing and electrical and things like that, because I went out there and looked, and there's some electrical lights and things out there by the plane. So we need to make that decision. Also, the hangar 1015 marker will be placed at the entrance to the BDA.
Very good.
Okay. Since we have these two markers, and Veterans Day is in November, it is actually really too hot to have a marker ceremony right now, because I'm afraid all of us would be extremely hot. So we met and we decided, and if the Commissioner Court agrees, we would like to have one dedication ceremony we'll go ahead and put the one up on hangar 1015 in the future, and the one when the marker comes here on Veterans Day. That would, I know there's veteran ceremonies all over, so I thought I would get with all the school districts to see when they're having, ceremonies. And that won't be until like September, when school starts, to have this dedication on Veterans Day. I thought that would be appropriate, and so that was a recommendation by several of our members, that we do it on Veterans Day. And I would like for the courthouse to be open and have the reception after the dedication of the markers in the rotunda.
At what date? Future date?
November 11th.
November 11th.
It's Veterans Day and it's a Friday.
Gentlemen?
I make a motion that we use the courthouse for Sunday on Veterans Day, Friday, November 11th, 2022, for the Beeville County Historical Commission for the historical markers reception.
You might want to add in there that, locate a location with the, maintenance people for that marker.
Sir?
I said you might want to add in that motion that to locate a place for that marker between now and then with the maintenance people, so you know where to put it.
Albert Bridge, has put up most of all our markers for us, so we'll need to get with him.
Of course, it's on county property.
Yes, we know. We know. He has put up several of them for us already. Who's in charge of maintenance?
Mr. Seguier.
John.
Back in the back.
I'll get with him and
That's what we want you to do.
we'll discuss where it'd be appropriate. And also too, I will check and see if we can get hints from like Galloway's or someplace to put out. And I need to talk to the city about maybe closing West Corpus Christi right there in front of the courthouse.
Okay, we'll take care of our stuff here first.
Okay.
Do all that.
Commissioner, that's the holiday, so that entails time and a half for our bailiffs and our maintenance, so you need to include that into your motion.
Okay, I'll amend my motion to find a placement for the marker, working through, maintenance, and also, let it be known that it's a holiday, so it'll be time and a half for the bailiffs, anyone else involved county-wise.
We have a motion and a second to approve this. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, unanimous. Thank you, Ms. Mix.
I have one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
We are working on several other projects, but the historical marker application was done for the jail,
For the old jail,
the 1874 jail. It is in Alton.
fantastic. Thank you.
And Dee would like to say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Terry, excuse me, I got a brother on my mind.
It's been a long morning, I'm sure.
Yes.
I just wanted to say a word about the courthouse. I love this courthouse. I think it's beautiful. When there was some discussion a few years ago about tearing it down and building a new one, I thought, oh, no, that's a terrible idea. I was so happy that it was decided to keep this building. I'm always for old things, as you can tell. I was pleased when Lauren Fisher got the statue put back on the top of the courthouse. My great-grandfather, C.I. Swan, was a county commissioner from Dennis's area. It used to be sections that they elected from, but anyway, C.I. Swan was a county commissioner. I'm not sure that he met in this building, but he died in 1918, so he could have met here. My grandmother had a desk right there, pretty close to where Sammy's sitting. She was the secretary for the county agent, Jack Farguson. And so I've been in this area. It's been remodeled, of course, but it was a nice place. And then my cousin, George Morrow, is the county judge now. So I do have deep connections with the Beeville County Courthouse, and I was pleased that you have accepted to, and the rotunda is beautiful. I love the rotunda, don't you? Okay, that's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. Number 9, approve B County Appraisal District budget for fiscal year 2023, and I have a note that the Judge Morrill is in support of the budget. So, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the appraisal district budget. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Pass unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 10, approve American Rescue Plan, ARP funding for repairs to air conditioning system at Expo Auditorium. Gentlemen, if y'all will, this is my item. We received word that there was funding for the air conditioner system. It is going out. The whole thing is going out. It is an emergency. We checked, the court authorized us to check, the committee to check with the ARP grant committee that oversees this. They said, yes, we can use the money. They're in the process of getting bids. We anticipate the cost somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000. I would recommend that the court approve this and that we continue to move forward, because when it goes out, that's the end of the hunt. And if we have a hurricane or something, that's where everybody stays. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second with a comment.
We have a motion and a second with a comment. What's your comment, sir?
These, all 4 units there?
That's what we understand. It's going out.
So on the south side unit, which has 2 units on it,
Right.
and then, of course, you got your north side. The north side's good, the south side one is going out, that's what we're having, rolls up all the time, it goes out, takes it, goes down again. It's leaks somewhere that they can't find, and it's just goes out. The R-22 gets expensive every time, and, they even pump it up,
We can get all this for how much?
Between 50 and 60,000, somewhere in that range.
For all of them?
for the south side.
For the south side.
South side.
I misspoke. It's south side.
Okay, 'cause you said.
I did. I'm thinking they were all there to get the south side.
South side, yeah, down to the side.
So it's just 1 unit? And we have grant money for that?
We have grant money for that. It will not come out of the county's budget. We do have funds.
And when will all this take place, huh?
As soon as we get all our, I'm working with the auditors, we're working, and, my board, that's not get companies, and, get more bids as far as, and then, whenever, I guess, when we get our bids in, get a company, then I guess we can start.
Yeah, because I think what we're gonna try to do today is approve the maximum not to exceed, and if it goes over that, we'll need to come back.
Okay.
And that maximum today is 70,000. It'll be less than that, but that way they can keep moving. So we have a motion and a second, is that correct? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Go you forward, sir. Number 11, approve appointment to Development Authority BDA Board for the replacement of Alexis Bledsoe. Mr. Commissioner Fittis, I think this is your item, sir?
Yeah, this item I put down there, Ms. Bledsoe was the county representative for the BDA, and she got elected as a councilwoman, so the city of Beeville snatched her up and took her as their representative now, so that left the vacancy. And when I'm asking the commissioners, Judge not here, to appoint, Mr. Jody Allen East to take that seat on that BDA board.
Is that your motion, sir?
That is my motion.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to put Jody Allen East in place of Alexis Bledsoe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna alter the rules a little bit this morning. This is a very sensitive item. This affects at least 150 employees and families, and it's something we can't take lightly. I've prepared, if you will, so we can, Madam Bailiff, would you hand these out, please? These, and, I want to read these in the record. Looking at exactly what the salary committee has done, they've done a lot of very, very good work. This is not an easy job. The committee has done a fantastic, amount of work. They, looked at this hard. They, have given some recommendations. The committee themselves is Commissioner Farias, Michelle Mattis, Derek Franco, Jaime Castillo, Commissioner Haggard, and April Cantu. This is not an easy thing when you're dealing with people's salaries. And they've done a very good job, but I have some suggestions that I looked at it very carefully. My previous career, I looked at thousands of salary requests. We call them P95s in Parks and Wildlife, and some things that I would like for them to look at. And I'm just gonna read through this, so bear with me. I put this together over the weekend. There are 2 open positions on the salary committee. I think one of them, you've got a recommendation on who to put in there. One of them was, I'm sorry,
The recommendations for both.
Okay. Johnny Carvajal was one of them. And what I'm recommending, we consider an underrepresented department, maybe the JP offices in lieu of the EOC office with 2 staff. JP is not represented on any of these, and there's a staff there of 7 or 8 people. Or add Tara from the tax office, she indicated she would serve, or maybe Stacy Yonka from the sheriff's office. The office that they're recommending the person from, there's only 2 people in that office. And that's what we had with Mr. Carvajal. I recommend we don't make that error twice. On Ms. Warnick's position, Jennifer Reyna is a replacement. Sound like a good idea. That'll be 2 people from the auditor's office. The 5% pay raise is in there for regular full-time employees. I think that's a good idea. With inflation at 8-point-something%, we're still behind, but it's a start. In the proposal, they have elected official recommendations, $10,000 raise for the sheriff, $15,000 for the county judge. They both work very, very hard. They're working 24 hours a day. I guarantee you, we've got a sheriff and a county judge at work. Their recommendation was for Commissioners Court to review elected official raises. I'm recommending all elected officials receive the same 5% as other employees. Without that pay raise, there exists a JP court clerk position with a salary above an elected official, above their JP after the 5% raise. That's not right. You can't operate an operation where the supervisor's making less than an employee. It doesn't work. Something to remember when you're dealing with salaries, there's an accepted number that is utilized to figure how much a salary is worth per hour. It's 2,080 hours. It's 2,080 hours is how many hours in a work year. You take the salary divided by 2080, that tells you what they're making an hour. These are considerations and recommendations additional. We need to close the gap. If the sheriff receives a $10,000 pay raise, there exists parity between the sheriff and the chief deputy. It's there. It's about $3,378. If you don't give the chief deputy the same raise, now there's a $13,000 parity difference. Now, I recommend that the chief deputy, to continue that historic difference, you have to adjust the chief deputy salary for a total of $66,622. Looking over all of these salaries that are in this recommendation, we all know what inflation is doing to every one of us. Gasoline, eggs, milk, the whole 9 yards. I'm recommending that the salary committee look at a minimum full-time salary of $30,000. Several positions right now are below $30,000 after the 5% increase. And if you divide 30,000 by 2080, it's $14.42 an hour. That's what they would be making at 30,000. Road and Bridge, Highway Patrol Administrative Assistant, Community Affairs. There's about 33 positions that after the pay raise, they're still making less than 30,000. Just an example, I took one salary. After the pay raise, they were making $26,208. When you divide by 2080, that's $12.60 an hour. Now, I want you to think about this person that's in charge of their family. Be it a family, be it a single mother, be it a single dad that's trying to raise some kids. If you've got a salary of $12.60 an hour, you're getting paid 26 times a year. We pay twice a month. Their take-home pay is around $500 each time. So they've got about $1,000 a month to pay all their bills, their utilities, gasoline, clothes for the kids, food. We shouldn't be there. We shouldn't be there. I think a minimum salary of $30,000 will help. We need to have a lot more. We don't have the money, but we need to look at that. When I started running these numbers and realizing that $12.60 an hour is what we're paying after the pay raise, in my position, I felt kind of ashamed. We should be paying more than that. These people are dedicated. They come to work. You hear about all these people that don't show up for work, and they're getting paid a lot of money.
These people are working hard, and they show up for work, and they do their job. I think we need to adjust the minimum hourly part-time salary. Years ago, the Commissioners Court, we were having trouble hiring people, funny thing, at $7.25 an hour. So the Commissioners Court adjusted the minimum we were gonna pay for part-time to $10 an hour. I think that should go to 12. I really do. They have expenses and stuff too. They're showing up for work, they're part-time. I think we need to increase the fuel allowance by $250 over what's already being paid to all positions receiving fuel allowance to compensate for the fuel price increases. You have a lot of people that are using their personal vehicles the way it's set up, and they receive a fuel allowance to help pay for the fuel. Well, it's not coming close to covering it anymore. And I think we need to increase that for everybody who's getting a fuel allowance. We need to review and add salary dollars to those folks that weren't allowed essential worker pay. We as a court agreed at the time to reconsider that during our budget. The extension agent was not eligible. I'm recommending they get $2,500. The assistant extension agent was not eligible, $1,250. And then the Coliseum manager, $2,500. I don't think we have a Coliseum manager here anymore, but that's what we talked about way back when, was looking at them. I haven't seen our manager in months. So, and then our extension agent position, the assistant extension agent is having to drive their personal vehicle all over the county to conferences and everything. Anything outside the county, they do a travel. But inside the county, they're having to drive their personal vehicle. Fuel is going up. I would like to see them add a fuel allowance, us add a fuel allowance to that assistant county agent. She's doing a great job. She's not provided a county vehicle. Right now, she's having to, every time she travels, she has to send a travel request in and get reimbursed. That's a pain, it's hard, and it's hard to keep up with. So these are just some things that I thought about over the weekend. I gave it a lot of thought. I would like to see the salary committee at least take a look at these. This is to help the employees. Without employees, I don't care what kind of business you're in, whether you're putting up fence posts, whether you're making a computer, you've got to have staff. We have staff. They're here, they're working, they're showing up for work. We need to recognize them and do something for them. With that, discussion from the court.
I will take your recommendation to the committee.
Lenny, do you have anything, sir?
So if you're gonna take it to the committee and see what they decide.
Okay, would y'all like to table this item in and come back to the court at a later date?
I think that'd be the smartest thing to do, wait for the judge and the other commissioners.
I agree. I think we should have a full court. This is too important.
It is, and I'll bring it to the committee, and the committee works pretty hard on it.
I'm sorry?
The next meeting?
The next meeting, yes, ma'am. So we do have a motion to table?
We haven't made much of the table, but we don't have a salary committee meeting before the next commissioner's court.
Okay.
So, table it, but it might be,
Well,
The next
you
You can table it
I'll
you'll
until,
put it back on the,
I'll put it back in the agenda.
okay.
then I'll second that.
We have a motion and second to table. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Passed unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. I think we need to look at it. Let's see where we are. 13. Bear with us. Number 13, we have a presentation on Safe Haven Women's Recovery by Angela Clifton.
Commissioner, I got a note that was given to me by Ms. Estrada, and that Ms. Clifton is sick and will not be able to do her presentation, so I don't know much about it. I don't want to mess up her presentation, so I'll give her another chance at the next commissioner's court. I'll put it back on.
All right, we'll table.
Table.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to table number 13, the Safe Haven Women's Recovery. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 14, approved request authorizing B County to place a request for qualifications, RFQ, advertising under the county's grant procurement policies and procedures for the procurement of an engineer contractor on behalf of Blanconia Volunteer Fire Department for their awarded Federal Emergency Management Agency FEMA Public Assistance PA grant. Commissioner Frias, this is your item.
This is my item, and I'm gonna have some help from Grace. Do you wanna come up, Grace? We've been trying to get them off the ground, they finally let Grace handle it, and now it's really moving at the right speed.
That's all it took was to get a lady involved.
To get Grace going on it. I'm gonna ask the court, for number one, is to pay for the advertisement, and then get reimbursed by the volunteer fire department, because they don't have an account with, our local newspaper for the price of 2 advertisements, and then, get reimbursed from Blank Home. So now I'll let Ms. Victoria.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Come on, ma'am.
Grace Victoria, like grant administrator. I've, put together an RFQ for, the Blanconia Volunteer Fire Department. It has been approved through Con Resnick, which is a consultant for FEMA, and they've approved it, and I'm gonna place the advertisement here in a week or two. I still need to tweak it a little bit, so yeah, hopefully we get, several bids, and we get the Blanconia Fire Department built.
Little history on that, this is from Hurricane Harvey still, trying to get them back up and running, so. Mr. Goody has really got the wheels rolling on this one now, so that's why I'm asking the court to pay for that advertisement, and then get reimbursed from the volunteer fire department afterwards.
That's your motion, sir?
That is my motion.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion second to pay for the advertisement. Any other discussion, gentlemen? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
This is also to authorize us to run the RFQ in behalf of Blanconia.
Is that part of your motion, sir?
Yes, I'll amend that.
That's part of the motion.
I'll, my second.
And, let's just vote again. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Anything else on that, Rick?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good. See, all it takes
Thank you for all the hard work.
is just to get a lady involved and it starts moving.
No, we got all the right pieces.
She's got the whip.
The puzzle's getting put together pretty fast now, so.
And you've spent a lot of time on this.
A lot of years. A lot of years, but it's getting there now.
Thank you,
Hopefully by
ma'am.
the end of the year, we'll have a fire department there.
Awesome.
Keep our fingers crossed.
That makes sense, mine too, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, number 15. Approve resolution designating an administrative service provider for the request for a proposal, RFP number 21/22-007 for the 2022 General Land Office GLO Local Hazard Mitigation Planning Program, LHMPP, grant for project implementation of updating the 2017 Local Mitigation Plan. Great.
Okay, so we did the advertisement, this is for the local hazard mitigation, planning. It's to update the 2017 mitigation, it has to be updated every 5 years. So, with the advertisement, we got 3 bids, we got Tetra Tech, GrantWorks, and LMC Community, Management. And, we got the scoring done, and Tetra received 286 scores, GrantWorks 293, and LMC 275. So, it is my recommendation to award GrantWorks, the RFP.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? I think we have a
Mr.
representative
Zambrano?
from GrantWorks, Mr. Zambrano. Would you want to say anything, sir?
Well, just to say that, GrantWorks really appreciates it. We have over 350 employees, all over Texas. And, we have, I live in Hebbronville. We have an office in Corpus. We have an office in McAllen, and our main office is in Austin, and, we'll take care of you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming by, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion at all? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Grace. Mr. Zambrano, thank you again for being here, sir. Thank you, sir. Approve resolution designated authorized signatures for contractual and funding documents pertaining to the GLO LHMPP contract number 22-130-003-D508. Whose item is this?
That's the same grant.
Oh, same brand.
Yes, it's just, getting authorizations, designated for
signatures?
judge and, yes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.
So we're gonna have to sign the resolution for all the-
We we approve for his signature. Approve new mileage, standard mileage rates effective July 1, 2022. I think that is the auditor's office. And the rates, from what I am looking at, go from 58.5 cents to 62.5 cents. Is that correct? Do we have a motion? This is,
So moved.
housekeeping.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I think that's immediately.
July 1st.
July 1st, I'm sorry, thank you. Opposition, same sign. That's unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 18, approval of tax payment refund pursuant to section 31.11 of the Texas Property Tax Code, refunds of overpayment or erroneous payment. Whose item is this?
Gotta be Ms. Mack.
Star, would you
It's
lead us?
housekeeping like before, so we had an overpayment, and before we can refund that, because it's over the $2,500 cap, we do have to have it approved by the commission court.
And how much was that amount now?
5,000, sorry.
500394.
Yes.
5,394.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this tax refund for overpayment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Pass unanimous. Mr. Carr, thank you for being here, ma'am. Number 19, approved tax assessor collector's request to use the county debit card to pay for the legislative conference hotel stay on August 23 through 26, 2022, to include parking fees as necessary.
So moved.
We have a motion?
Second.
Second. Little discussion. Looking at the paperwork, the valet parking fees at any hotel are getting very expensive. In Corpus, the valet parking was $30. South parking was $20. The valet parking I saw on the paperwork was $52 in Austin. It's getting expensive. But you're gonna have to pay it because you gotta park your car. You can't leave it out on the road. And the debit card, what has happened in the past with a lot of people, they use a personal credit card to hold the room. The rooms have gotten expensive, and a lot of people don't have, excess funds on their personal credit card to put 4 or 5 days of room on their card to hold it till they get there and pay with a check. So this is something we'll probably see more of, and, I don't have a problem with it at all. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 20, approved tax collector's request. No, that's it. We just did 20.
No.
That's another one. Okay.
Part two.
Part two. Approved, I won't go through the discussion again. Approved tax collector's request to use a debit card to pay for the BG Young Conference Hotel reservation for August 2022 and hotel stay on November 29, December 1, to include parking fees if necessary.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 21, approve IBM iService hardware and software maintenance quote between iSeries. Thank you. iSeries hardware and software maintenance quote between NetData Corp and B County.
It's just housekeeping.
Housekeeping?
And annual software maintenance and hardware.
Okay.
Do you go up or to stay the same?
It stayed the same, other than hardware. Our server is coming end of life at the end of this year. So that's why it's only being covered in there for 6 months. Which this budget year, we're gonna have to make a decision if we're gonna stay with NetData. We need to upgrade our server. It's been roughly about 7, 8 years since we've upgraded our server. And that's one of the things they don't, for that length of time, it's come end of life. So if we're gonna continue, we need to have them give us a quote for that.
What would you use? Okay, no, I said, you got a lot of good news for us this morning, so. Something we gotta look at, so is there a plan in place, or?
There's quotes coming to present to the judge and hopefully present to the court. I'm just waiting for NetData to forward those to me. But for now, this is just our standard software and hardware maintenance.
But it's only good for 6 months?
The hardware. Software is good for 6 months still, because they still manage and maintain the software. It's their software. It's the hardware from IBM that's going to be end of life in 6 months, meaning January 1, if anything breaks, then it's going gonna be 100% our responsibility to get it fixed.
Okay.
Motion.
So, go ahead. I'll make a motion that we pay it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. This concludes our regular term session. We'll be going into executive session now. If you would, we'd like to have the chief deputy and Ms. Patricia to attend this executive session. Thank you, everyone. We're gonna be closing the doors in a few minutes. Yes, ma'am. I will read this before we close. Public notice is given that the B County Commissioners Court may elect to go into executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed on the agenda pursuant to the authority granted of the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Immediately before any executive session, a specific section or sections of the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, that provides statutory authority will be announced. Upon completion of the executive session, the Commissioners Court may, in open session, take such action as appropriate on items discussed in executive session. Executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551071, consultation with legal counsel, B County Law Enforcement Center. Jim Alice will be on standby for conference call, mobile phone. We're going into executive session now. When we come out, it'll be on the record. Thank you very much. The time is 9:52. 9:52.